Hello again. Thanks for joining us. My name is Tyler, the founder of Easy Life Journey. In this very special episode, we will be going over how to deal with depression. Can you believe that suicide is the second leading cause of death in young people? A very common illness that ought to be treated ASAP. Depression affects millions of us, and how many people commit suicide a year? Continue watching to find out. I hope my advice will shed some light on you. I've personally dealt with depression for about 4 years, so I'm going to give you some of my experiences along with other credible sources. In this guide, we will highlight 4 important topics concerning how to deal with depression. Stay until the end to find out all 4. You may need to hear this. Your life could depend on it. Let's begin right away. Number 1, the origin of depression. Mentalhealth.fitness says that scientists believe depression is a brain disorder. It comes in many forms: losing a loved one or being away from them, loneliness, physical appearance, having a disability or deformity, overwork, living with someone you don't like, being borderly, fear of losing your job or possessions, and the likes can give rise to depression. NAMI.org states that depression is an illness. When one is lonely and the company of others is not an option, then the only thing left is an empty mind. An empty mind can be filled with thoughts of never finding a friend, being alone forever, fear of rejection, so avoidance is the clearest answer, etc. As soon as we realize something negative about ourselves or our situation, we let 3 things happen to us. We let that problem affect us either daily or for however many years we let it affect us. We may ponder on the thought for a while and let it spontaneously fly away and move on. We can use it to our advantage and do what we must to move on and enjoy what we can out of life. This is why being positive is not an option, but a necessity. The bigger the problem, the more misery it produces once we let it affect us. Being negative about the situation really only worsens it and extends its time. Of course, some of us don't realize that, and the only very few do. Number 2, why depression leads to confusion or even worse. The reality is that people choose to let depression affect them voluntarily. There is a choice in life for everything, and how you deal with those choices can have good or bad impact on your life. Only education, knowledge, and real-life experiences can help you deal with such problems like this. Depression is a critical topic and can absolutely affect one's life to the core of existence, meaning suicide is truly the only way out. It is human nature for us to grieve over a loved one or shed tears when one is emotionally, physically, or mentally hurt. The main issue lies in duration. As the time is extended, so is the chances of being depressed. It may be difficult, but the moment something bad happens, deal with it and move on. About 1 million people in the US try to commit suicide annually, and another 1 million succeed in suicide annually. What could possibly be worse than suicide? Living with depression every day until your last breath, of course. Depression hinders us from living life to the fullest extent. Trying to succeed at our job or hobbies, taking care of families, communicating with co-workers or friends, and even simple things like eating and drinking bring no meanings or enjoyment anymore. Imagine being down and feeling blue to the deepest depths that one can imagine. There is where your ultimatum lies. That is suicide, or get up and change for the better. Number 3, how to confront and deal with depression. You know, online, cyber, and school bullying is getting really serious, and the victims don't even confront their friends or families for help. About 30% of kids 6th through 12th grade are borderly, and only 20 to 30% confront adults about bullying. You can't solve all problems by yourself, especially if you're not even an adult. Teenagers believe they are powerful and can handle everything themselves. I know, because not too long ago, I once was a teenager. I never spoke to my parents about any of my issues because, well, I believe they were the cause of it. The issue here is that when we have problems, we want to deal with it ourselves because we either don't want to get others involved, or we believe that we don't care about our problems. PsychCentral.com suggests that if one has depression, they should reach out to others for support. If you have a close friend or even one person you know, reach out to them and see what they say. Friends really are like family. At least true friends are. Talking about your problems to a group can help tremendously. That's why they are there. If not, they wouldn't exist. Plus, it's free, so may as well give it a try. See if there are local groups or even online groups that deal with whatever issue you are currently facing. I always say communication is one of the most vital aspects to humanity. Nothing in life is permanent. You can't be afraid to do some things, especially if they are meant to help you. Maybe you will meet a new friend, the love of your life, or maybe even better, having a problem solved and done with. Here are some key things you have to practice or do if you are currently dealing with depression. Go outside and get some sunlight. Sunlight gives you energy, makes you awake, makes you happy, and is scientifically proven to reduce depression. Stop thinking about your problem all the time. Everything is temporary. Everything in this universe is made out of energy. So if you give all your time and energy on focusing about your problems, then your main energy will be your problems. Meditate because it has been practiced for thousands of years and it will help you to control your thoughts. Meditation is so powerful and effective. You must practice meditation if you want to end your problems. Exercising releases stress and makes you feel good. We used to hunt, fish, farm, and gather food, which was exhausting as it was. Today, everything comes pre-packaged and ready to eat in minutes. Exercising will help you focus less on your depression and it known to make you feel good along with 100 other benefits. Practice positivity. The mind works in a great way and your thoughts become your powers. Just by thinking about it, you've already won or lost half the battle. So try to practice positivity and see what happens. You've been through so much and your mind is clouded with confusion, depression, grief, and hopelessness. Plant new thoughts and let those positive thoughts grow into garden of positivity. After a few months, things will get better, I promise. But you have to believe it will, and the best proof is through action and thoughts. Number 4, what to do to enjoy and appreciate life once again. We were brought here on earth as a human being without choice. Life has two purposes, to create it and end it. What you choose to do with it is entirely up to you and you alone. The most influential and top 1% of the people in this world have a few things that make them stand out from the rest of us. I hope these things give you some motivation and inspire you to change to want to live. They don't give up. If you never give up, the chances of you reaching your goal is almost 100%. Only death is stopping you, really. They work long and enduring hours. Dreams aren't just empty thoughts. If you want to make it happen, then you have to put in the hours. They are patient. Normal people want quick fixes and answers to everything now. They live for the moment and nothing else. The top 1% know that everything takes time. The universe is 14 billion years old. Is 10 years too long for you? They stay positive. World War II was a bad time. 80 million people die. But life goes on, and if you let bad things happen to you, but life goes on, and if you let bad times and things get to you, then you are wasting your life being entangled by mere thoughts and illusions. You are what matters the most. You have one body, one life, and how you treat and do your body is how it will treat and do you. If you live your best life, love yourself, and take care of your body physically and mentally, then nothing will stand in your way. You don't have to be the 1%, but personally for me, I want to be the best or number one in everything I do. That gives me a reason to live. We can only do so much as an insignificant being in this universe, but as long as it matters to us, then that's all that matters. Life may be short, but it's the longest thing you will ever experience. Make sure you enjoy and live every moment. Again, you have two choices in life. Choose wisely, because at the end of the day, do you want to be remembered how you died or how you lived? Conclusion. Every life is worth living because who knows, maybe you can change the course of history if you just go on and live.